WWE SummerSlam 2026. What is going on? And I mean that in regards to the current ticket sales that are currently going on with SummerSlam. As of right now, and this is regarding one report which has been reported by WrestleTix in regards to SummerSlam Sunday. As of right now, there's only 22,364 tickets distributed, with the current setup of 29,535. Now, of course, with only 2 weeks until SummerSlam happens, it is willing to get to that number. I think what interests me the most when this was revealed last week was the current setup of SummerSlam, where as of right now it is only 29,535. Now the place of where WWE SummerSlam is going to be taking place is the US Bank Stadium, a stadium that can hold up to 60,000, 65,000, and even 70,000 people. And if we are comparing this into last year's SummerSlam, where the attendance for night 1 was 53,161, and night 2 was even high with 60,561 viewers. It interests me because of where this currently is, and WWE have stacked up this show. Cody Rhodes defending it. No, Cody Rhodes. He's not champion right now, and probably a good thing. CM Punk, the new undisputed WWE champion, will be defending his title in arguably a WrestleMania-esque match. A dream match, you could say, against Cody Rhodes. Roman Reigns will be facing Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight title in what is being highlighted as potentially the last time that these two wrestlers in the likes of Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins, who have so much history, so much story between each other as former Shield brothers, in arguably the Night 2 main event, and Obafemi versus Brock Lesnar 3 inside Hell in a Cell. Despite those 3 matches arguably being very big matches for WWE, they are still in a situation where the tickets are not moving. Now, people could say that there is only 2 weeks left, people will buy tickets later on, and then other things else. That's all and good, but I feel like this is something that has been coming for a while. In my opinion, I kind of feel like WWE, in terms of how the product is, in my opinion, it could be completely different compared to others who enjoy what they're watching in WWE. I feel like where WWE was at, let's say, if we go back to, let's say, 2022, 2023, and even certain aspects of 2024, I just don't feel the exact same feeling with how it is right now. If it's the current storylines, the current people who are being pushed, SmackDown, in my opinion, just not really feeling that entertaining. And I look at Cody Rhodes and CM Punk as an example. This is just a match that just happened random. I don't think we've had a promo back and forth with Cody Rhodes, CM Punk in this current feud, in this current SummerSlam as of right now. I know WWE have been releasing promo packages of Cody, CM Punk when they've exchanged heading into the Royal Rumble, but there's barely been any interaction with these two apart from Cody just saying SummerSlam, and having where it is. And people could argue that Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins should fill up stadiums, but that's not really the case here. And what's interesting is that WWE will be going to a stadium once again later on in November, where Survivor Series War Games will be taking place in Houston, Texas, in the Dillican Park, another stadium. How much can that place operate? How many? 40,000. 41,000 capacity. Okay. I think one thing is that I think WWE should stop relying on these stadiums. If it's not WrestleMania. If it's the Royal Rumble and WrestleMania, that's perfectly understandable. The Royal Rumble is arguably one of the most fun pay-per-views of the year, especially the concept, especially the thrill of knowing who's going to come in, who's going to win the Royal Rumble, who's making their way to WrestleMania. And WrestleMania, of course, the biggest show that WWE can put on the calendar year. Even though you could argue there was some issues and struggles for this year's WrestleMania where it wasn't a complete sellout, where we had Pat McAfee on SmackDowns before Mania telling us that we're going to release 25% off, 50% off tickets for WrestleMania Saturday, literally in people's faces. And I think that's just kind of the problem. Like, a lot of the things just haven't been intriguing, in my personal opinion. If it's Cody's when Cody was champion, him and Pat McAfee just wasn't entertaining to me. The decline of the Vision, once a group that was assembled to potentially be a main event players, especially when Seth Rollins was in charge and where Braun Breaker was going, Bronson Reed. But of course, Bronson Reed had the injury, and even the chance that they were trying to take with Austin Theory, even though in my opinion it felt like one of the most anticlimactic reveals, where Triple H loves to do the whole black hooded figure, and no one really cared. And they have gone from potential main event angles to potential bottom tier mid card feuds, where Paul Heyman himself has said, I don't want to be associated with any of you punks ever again. And I know they're doing something new, and I've already discussed it in the other video, but this is kind of the thing. Jacob Fatu, who is now aligned with the bloodline, and I know they're doing this whole thing where he's now aligned with Roman Reigns and everything else, and I know people have their issues with the bloodline, but I don't think it's as effective as what the bloodline was back in, let's say, the earlier days. The Roman Reigns Seth Rollins feud has been intriguing, but it has not resulted into a streamline of fans willing to spend crazy amount of money to go and watch SummerSlam. Ticket sales is also the price of the tickets is also another option. WWE is not looking for the average wrestling fan or the average WWE fan who can get affordable tickets. They're looking for the fans that can spend a crazy amount of money, or the very, very rich people, to make this money. The showcase of many celebrities, and not to say like showcasing celebrities is a bad thing. If they want to do that, that's great, but that's who they're catering to. If you look at the Monday Night Raw Netflix debut, that's who they're catering to the most, which was the celebrities and everyone else. I think I mentioned this in this video, or maybe I haven't, but Randy Orton seeing that family and reacting to the fact that they were willing to spend tens of thousands of money to see a WrestleMania. And I can understand the experience of being at a WrestleMania. I have never experienced it. I know friends that have, and I can guess that it is a great moment to be a part of. I've only been to one show. I've been to an AEW show. I've been to All in London, and I can say that the experience of being at a wrestling show, it is a great feeling, especially when you're enjoying it, especially when you're in the atmosphere. But I feel like WWE are in a position where they can kind of see that their momentum of, let's say, what they were doing in 2022, 2023 is slowly dipping, and it's affecting their big stadium shows. Their arena shows, they'll fill. They'll have no problems. They'll do their tens of thousands on Monday Night Raw, SmackDown, whatnot. That is not going to go away. But the feeling that they can do stadiums and just fill the shows wherever, it's losing the feeling. And so they will have this issue at Survivor Series. Survivor Series will have this issue. Unless the show has a big, big name, and if they think they can just rely on doing another Bloodline Civil War, it's like with a babyface Solo Sikoa, yeah, it's interesting. Is it going to result in tickets? Who knows? Maybe it will, but I doubt it. Like, where they're currently at with SummerSlam is actually pretty alarming, in my opinion. Like, you have all these, like, the 3 matches alone are not moving the seats. And WWE were relying on so many different things last year. They're relying on the retirement of John Cena. People wanted to see John Cena for the very last time. If it was the last Royal Rumble, the last WrestleMania, the last SummerSlam, the last Survivor Series, the last ever event, they would be willing to spend that money. But now you don't have that anymore. You are now relying on the stars you have right now. The big 4, or the Triple H guys, or the WWE guys. It's Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, CM Punk, and Seth Rollins. And still they're not moving. I think it's also and look, people could say like, oh, what do you know, because you're not the writer, you're not the person booking. People who focus too much on the aspects of, let's say, the writing and whatnot, you're taking too much of the time, and just enjoy the product, just be a fan and all these other things. I get that, and that's also a point that I could see as well. When you focus too much on what could have been better, it can maybe ruin the experience, of course, but that's just being a fan of anything. When you review something, or when you are taking anything of a source of entertainment, which could be movies, music, or anything, you will have things to talk about, the positives and the negatives. WWE will have its positives, or any wrestling company will have its positives, and it will also have its negatives. And I can understand the aspects of that everything has become super overanalyzed, especially on social media, especially in terms of the wrestling audience and everything. That's fine. But WWE know that. Based off of the investment, the emotional investment, the financial investment that fans will have, They know this. So I say this about SummerSlam and just how the WWE product has been. Is that I feel like Monday Night Raw has its moments where it's still a consistent show. There's still good things on Raw. Not everything is a home run. I still think their tag team division stinks, and it's clear that they're going to do nothing to fix it. I don't think Enzo Amore, Big Cass is going to be the big savior that's going to be for the tag team division, because they arguably one of the best tag teams in the New Day, and they pretty much said, you either take this pay cut or leave, and we're just going to replace you with Big Cass and Enzo, if they're going to be a tag team. Same thing on SmackDown. The US Championship scene and the women's scene is pretty forgettable. Even with Tiffany Stratton holding the championship, there isn't really a mid-card. There isn't really anything to go by. Candice LeRae is standing next to Johnny Gargano near a crate for about 3 to 6 months, doing nothing, when she could arguably be added to this mid-card championship scene. Where is Jordynne Grace? Where is Jordynne Grace? And I'm not looking for Jordynne Grace to be an immediate champion. Like, go and chase championships. Use these people. You sign them, use them. Like, the whole thing about Johnny Gargano. I know people that love Johnny Gargano, and I know people that don't like Johnny Gargano. Maybe because of some reasons, I don't know. Maybe because they remind him too much of Alex Shelley, who knows. But you have these guys. What stories are you telling with Johnny Gargano, with him laying in his crate for about 3 months, doing nothing? What's the progression? I saw a quote where Michael Cole said, "We should for fans who are critical of where WWE is right now. They should be very, very patient. Be patient to see how things develop. That is perfectly fine. But please tell me how you completed that Kairi Sane Asuka feud or storyline. People were patient, and then." Before SmackDown, we find out that Kairi got released. Johnny Gargano's been laying on a crate for 3 months, and I'm not asking for Johnny Gargano to become the undisputed WWE champion. Use these guys. Use Candice LeRae in your mid-card division. Use these other wrestlers. That's just what I'm asking. Do I think everything is doom and gloom in WWE? No. But there's things that need to be asked, you know? And I say this as someone who still, like, if I'm not saying this, it's because I care. And I still watch WWE. It's not like, oh, it's killed my fun for WWE. It killed Billy's fun for WWE for a good part after WrestleMania. You heard, well, in one of our last videos, how he felt, you know? And I might as well talk about them here. It could be the same thing about, like, how I feel about AEW. What's funny enough is, like, AEW with All In, despite them being in a bigger stadium, if we just split, like, instead of combining SummerSlam Night 1 and Night 2, All In has more people coming into their show than SummerSlam. That's very interesting. And they've only announced one match right now. There's only one match confirmed for that show. They've got a pay-per-view that kind of feels like a supersized Dynamite / Collision, but that's kind of the thing. And with AEW, I'm not trying to say like they're like, oh, they're amazing, like super amazing, can't be touched, whatnot. There's things to critique AEW for. If it's how this redemption show feels with Kenny Omega and Kevin Knight as the main event, despite how I feel like Tekla's doing really well with the championship, how the women's division at times doesn't feel that focused enough. There's other things to focus on AEW for in terms of its positions and other things. Not being crazy about Tommaso Ciampa and Tommaso Ciampa and Chris Jericho. Too many belts. Andrade has went from being interested at the AEW World title to be interested in arguably one of the least interesting titles that AEW have. So there's positives to take from AEW, and there's negatives as well. If you were to ask me which company do I feel like is better as of right now, or that I'm enjoying more, probably AEW. And it's not because, I think AEW is going to be bigger than WWE in terms of the audience, the attendance, the numbers, the size, the brand, and where it is. That will always be WWE. WWE will have all of those things. The only thing that AEW can focus on is to be the alternative, but also to have the fans' perceptions of how great their shows are, and it's their quality. That is what's going to help AEW, is their quality. And it seems to always be a thing that WWE is going to focus on. Look at the amount of counter programming that they did. The last video where I talked about Worlds Collide being on the exact same day as All Out, All In having an NXT and a AAA show, exact same time as a London pay-per-view show, like, or WWE out of nowhere signing AAA because they see how AEW is doing, especially with CMLL. But that's just another thing just to kind of go on. This has just been kind of a video of me just kind of talking about just other stuff and just talking about SummerSlam. Look, when I look at SummerSlam, do I think the show could be good? It could be. I think it could end up to be a great show overall. I think it could be a great show. It could be a good show. But people are just not intrigued or excited to just go out and pay expensive money for SummerSlam. Why is the fact that the setup is currently at 29,000 for a place that is potentially 60, 70? And look, AEW had this issue too with All In. When I heard All In was going back to Wembley, I was like, why? Especially Wembley Stadium, why? It's the diminishing of returns. People just, unfortunately, are not intrigued to go back to Wembley again and again. And mind you, AEW had the I won't say the advantage, they've had the lineage of opening this up since March. And right now they're currently at 30,000, but that's still a big decline from where they were the first time and the second time. So I think the ticket issue is not just only an AEW situation, it's also a WWE issue, where WWE's issue is them going to do these stadium shows for pay-per-views or PLEs. They don't really need stadium shows. I don't think SummerSlam needs it. I don't think Survivor Series needs it. And I think this second time out, where SummerSlam is trying to make it WrestleMania 2 with SummerSlam, it's showing itself. And I believe they'll have this issue with Survivor Series. Because I know what you're going to do. You're going to do a War Games match where you're going to throw in the Bloodline again and probably do Solo Sikoa and whatever. That's the long-term goal. But yeah, this has just been a video of me just talking over a lot of stuff. Just kind of me talking. Hope anyone's really enjoyed this video, or there's anything they would like to discuss in regards to what I've been saying. Do you agree? Do you disagree? I don't really mind. Really looking to see if I can get any discourse in regards to what I'm saying. I don't even know what I could call the topic of this video. This is just potentially what the state of SummerSlam and just the state of wrestling fans intrigued for tickets or whatever. But yeah, I've been a Raiden from Main Event Mike. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video. If this does get uploaded, I think I'm probably going to upload this. And yeah, have a blessed day, and I'll catch you guys later.